We have a saying in England: don't wash your dirty clothes in public, your dirty linen in public. This is what they're saying to Harry for saying he's killed 25 terrorists. Not only that, but he's talking about things which the British have certain rules and the world that you don't talk about diplomacy. But Harry is not in that world anymore. He's not living in that world of diplomacy where we have to be careful what we say. He wants to say everything what he's got to say on his heart. He's going to say even more and more. I think he's going to come out about how his mother was killed and what his theories were, whether she was killed or she died or was an accident. He's going to come out of even more than we think. And that's very important because the more we will wash our dirty linen in public, the more we'll refrain from future doing things like that. Otherwise, the crown thinks they can get away with murder. Crown, the British government and everything else thinks they can get away with murder. It's the same thing as the British government is trying to push the mistake of the nurses not having enough pay onto the nurses and saying they're to blame when people die. They're not to blame. The British government is to blame because I haven't been paying the nurses the proper price. And we're scared to come out in public and say the truth. And even our reporters on LBC, Nick Ferrari, and all those are always covering up. Brian, whatever he's called, I don't know anymore. But he's always covering up. They're always covering up. When anybody comes on who doesn't want to cover up, they put him off. I've had certain experience with Nick Ferrari where I wanted to say something and he just cut me off or wouldn't let me on in the first place. They're not honest. They're not being honest. That with the strikes and with everything else, they're not being honest. And here comes a boy out of the crown. I don't know whether he is this real descendant of the Queen or not, but he's definitely a child of this truthful and loving person, Diana. And he wants to tell the truth. And they don't want him to tell the truth. Why not? His brother doesn't want him to tell the truth because he's going to disturb his kingship when he gets to be Charles King. If the truth comes out, the whole King Charles will fall to bits. I mean, how do you think a boy like that feels when he finds out that the night of the wedding to Diana, who he should never have married Charlie, he didn't want her, he wanted Camilla, he goes and lives with Camilla and not with her. How will she feel? This girl was pained non-stop by the British government who covered up. And this boy at last is coming up and saying, I'm not covering up anymore.